Hey guys, this is IXRollOutIX with LEGO Tron Legacy, Sam Flynn, Rinzler, and their Lightcycles. So we'll start with the minifigures. Here is Rinzler and Sam Flynn. Take a look at Sam first. It's a little hard to see because most of the suit is black, but we'll do our best. Here he is. He's got just that sort of hair, a mutt face, and then just a black body with this sort of back piece on here and a rubber band. I used this piece here for the identity disc. It's a wheel here, and that just fits in the hand. You have to squeeze it a little bit and sort of anchor it in there, but once it's in there, it's in there, and it's pretty good. It does leave a little indent in the rubber, but that'll go away after time. You can sort of, I guess, put a stud on here if you want, and then just loop the rubber band around that stud, and then be able to attach it to his back. But I thought that looked a little silly, seeing as it's pretty big, so I just did not do that. It sticks out a little far as well, so I just left that aspect of the identity disc off, but as you can see, it is rubber. Anyway, with the rubber band, I'll just show this off real quick. It's just a normal body, and then you pull the legs off, loop the band around the neck, and up, and then loop it on like this, and then just stick the legs over that. So there you go, and it gives that white detailing. Should probably put the head on first so that you can get the rubber band around that head, like so. And then I also did, if I can get this straightened, I also did have this helmet. So really simple helmet so that he can ride the Lightcycle and engage in disc wars. So there is Sam Flynn. Now, Rinzler here is pretty much the same idea, but with a red rubber band. He's got no face under here, just because you never really saw his face in the movie as Rinzler, so there you go. But just a normal black helmet, and he's got his 2 identity discs. So, very similar. Not a lot to talk about Rinzler. So, let's take a look at the main attraction, the Lightcycles. We'll start off again by looking at Sam Flynn's Lightcycle. Here it is. A very similar sort of design as the minifigures here. Straight black with rubber bands as the light details. It's also got some rubber, much like the identity discs are. So a very similar aesthetic going on. You can see here, it's this rubber tire here with another wheel inside it, and then that wheel has a rubber band around that. A rubber band inside here holds that whole thing together, and I'll show you that in a minute. But then you just got these plates here, an opening through the bottom, a 2x1 brick just to seal that up, then another wheel here which attaches to this back piece, which allows this whole section to be one, and it'll go in and out like that. So to put a minifigure in it, you don't have to take the minifigure apart at all, which is a real plus with this design. I think there are a lot of Lightcycles that just leave that aspect out. Then you just slide the minifigure in there, and you bring this back piece down, bring the legs back a little bit, And then there he is on the light cycle. Now when you take him out, it's kind of cool because when you push that, the back wheel will sort of lift the minifigure up. And once you have him in a position where his legs are back enough, it'll sort of pull the minifigure back in when you close it, which is kind of cool. So there is the light cycle. It's very cool. It's very small. It doesn't really roll, but it never really rolled in the movie if you look. It just sort of hovers over the grid. So there you go. You can sort of, I guess, if you want to, take a piece and sort of make that look like the light trail. But let's take a look at Rinzler's light cycle, which is pretty much the same thing except red. Red rubber bands are slightly bigger than white ones, so I had to loop it around twice here, which makes the wheels a little thicker. These are also a little bit more loose because the rubber bands are just bigger. Rinzler will fit in it exactly the same way, but I'll just take this light cycle to show you sort of how it goes together. So you've got this front piece, which is some L-shaped pieces in there, and that, and if you strip those off, if I can, you can see there's a stud in there that attaches to one of these pieces. So that kind of hooks in and keeps the whole thing together. Just a cheese slope roof tile piece there on this. So then you have this. Now the rubber bands again just loop around this wheel here that's in there. And when you pull those out, you can see it's just the rubber band stuck through. And then these wheels hold that rubber band in place. So, yeah, that's how you make pretty much the front section. Then the back section's even more simple. It's just a couple 1x1 pieces with the studs in there, looped around this sort of piece. Then a 1x1 tile, and then the same sort of concept with the wheel back here. It does have the hole through the wheel, which is also another accurate thing that I don't see a lot in LEGO Lightcycles. So yeah, that is sort of how the light cycle is made. I think it's very cool, and if you can, I highly encourage you to build this light cycle because it's very cool. It's size accurate, it's accurate looking, and you don't have to cut or paint anything to accomplish it. So there you go. That is about it, guys, and this is IXRollOutIX, signing off.